It's been hard to use markets as an indicator of what might happen next. I mean, we're on this roller coaster ride, and it's been tough to kind of predict what might happen that will take us in the next turn of events. But to your point, I mean, this deal, this agreement, whatever it might be, is very very hard to characterize at the moment. And the focus really is not so much on a sort of ceasefire, but on the arrangements in the Strait of Hormuz, which remain quite fuzzy. So last night we did get an indication from the president that things seem to be moving along, at least in his view, in terms of after talking with the Qatari emir, saying that there are progress in talks with Iran. Still unclear exactly who is conducting those talks and how those are going along, aside from what Iran is indicating that they're arranging with Oman in talking about further and perhaps more permanent arrangements in the Strait. But right now, laser focused on reports that potentially there will be a tentative pact around how ships might be able to move through there. But I would just caution, we have a number of caveats at this point. I mean, beyond the obvious one being that we seem to be back at square one at every point in time that we think that there might be more progress on talks. There's still a lot of questions about what routes in the Strait might be deemed safe and how to ensure they are safe, including the routes that have potentially a lot of mines that Iran has laid there, as well as how to conduct those demining efforts, which our colleagues in Europe broke some news on yesterday in terms of perhaps some movement of European nations helping out in that effort. But all the while, shippers remain wary about the situation there. We've got the Houthis that are battling the Saudis and threatening more violence in the Strait. So there's a lot still that remains unanswered, but we're watching with laser focus today to see if there's any movement on those sorts of talks and what agreement might come of it.
So certainly the Strait of Hormuz is first and foremost for a variety of reasons. But for President Trump, if you would ask him, he would probably say, we got to make sure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon.
That's right.
I'm not sure how you do that. Are there talks ongoing regarding that larger issue?
Well, I think on Monday we revisited that again, and you're right to point out that this has been kind of a dual theme throughout this months-long process where Trump consistently says this is all about taking away their nuclear capabilities, but we need the Strait of Hormuz reopened urgently. So what Trump conceded on Monday is that any arrangement to seal the deal on Hormuz would just predate nuclear talks, which will, he says, take a while. So that is still some time off to sort of formalize that sort of agreement, whether they return to something that they hatched in the MOU some months ago now or some weeks ago now, and then build on that, or whether or not they just come to a new stage of negotiations around nuclear talks. But that is still second order at this point to the Hormuz happenings today.
Michelle, do we know who within Iran is doing the lead negotiating? Because there had been some concerns over how there's internal fighting in Iran as well. So one group might agree to something and then get undermined by another part of the ruling regime.
Yeah, well, there have been, a couple or a few more moderate seen as, representatives from Iran to the U.S. talks, some stages ago. There's also, of course, you're right to point out the internal divisions. This has been a problem throughout the campaign, and one that, Trump and other U.S. officials have conceded is tough to be up against, is, just that there are so many voices within Iran, and the regime is set up as such to allow for the IRGC to have military control. Obviously, the supreme leader has decision-making power, but then there's a lot of officials in between that might, leak things to press or try to be a part of the talks. And it's very hard to understand what the consistent message might be, if there is one, and what the decision will come out to be, even amid all the rhetoric that's seeming to act against what the U.S. and others have seen to be true.